Yo, what's up guys? It's Noah here, and in today's video, I'm going to be talking through some player props I like on Prizepicks for today's MLB slate on Monday, August the 18th. I think we got 12 or 13 games today, so relatively big slate for Monday, guys. I've got some early player props I like for today. Taking a first look at the board on Sunday night, recording this video the night before. Got 3 plays that we're going to share in this video. We're going to break down these plays and share why I like them. Now, before we do get started, make sure that you guys hit that like button down below if you enjoy these Prizepicks videos. Make sure to hit that subscribe button as well. And if you guys are new to the channel, if you are new to Prizepicks, if you don't have a Prizepicks account, make sure that you go sign up. Use that promo code NOAH. When you do sign up for Prizepicks with my promo code, play your first $5 lineup. You're going to get $50 instantly worth of free lineups that you can use to hopefully win some money off of and start to build up your bankroll over on Prizepicks. And I do want to shout out Prizepicks because they do have a free square available for college football. So if you don't know, college football does officially start this week. It starts on Saturday. It's week 0, so it's technically not like the full slate of games. I think there's like 5 or 6 games, but we do have a free square. Avery Johnson, 0.5 pass yards. This is available until Saturday at 12 o'clock Eastern time when the Kansas State and Iowa State game starts. So yeah, free square for college football. For those of you that don't know, I do cover college football, so I will be making college football videos. My video for Saturday's slate will probably go up sometime on Thursday or Friday, so be on the lookout for that later this week. Super excited for college football to be back this week, and then obviously we'll have NFL coming up soon too. But yeah, there's going to be a ton of content coming out on the channel with college football back, with NFL coming up as well, and then we'll still be doing MLB videos kind of here and there, but definitely going to start transitioning more towards football content now that we've kind of gotten close and we're almost there when it comes to football season. But yeah, if you guys don't have an account on Prizepicks, sign up, use that code NOAH, get those free lineups, and use this free square while it's available till Saturday. And then I do also want to shout out Sleeper because we do have a partnership with Sleeper as well. You guys can go sign up for Sleeper. Use promo code NOAH over there. You'll get your first deposit matched up to $100. So whatever you put in on that first deposit, Sleeper will match it up to $100. If you want to put in $100, Sleeper will give you an additional $100 to play with. So now you've got a $200 bankroll to work with over on Sleeper. You can try and build up that bankroll. But yeah, if you guys don't have an account over there, sign up, use that code NOAH, and get that deposit bonus over on Sleeper. But let's talk about some plays I do like for today, guys, on Monday. Now, recapping our plays from our last video, which was on Saturday. I did not do a video for Sunday. Typically, don't do a video for Sunday for baseball because like all the games are early. But we did do a video for Saturday, gave out 3 plays. Went 2 and 3. Unfortunately, could not get the full sweep. We did hit our 2-man stack of Alex Bregman and Trevor Story, both over fantasy score. Like that spot a lot for the Red Sox to put up some runs. They wound up putting up a good amount of runs. Story and Bregman both, I think, went over their fantasy scores like in the 3rd or 4th inning. But we paired that with Gunnar Henderson over fantasy score, which unfortunately did not work out. The Orioles, they didn't wind up scoring many runs on Saturday, I don't believe. I think Henderson went 1 for 4, or maybe he had like a walk, but yeah, didn't get it done. Sadly, tough. We've had a lot of days lately where we've gone 2 and 3, and that was the case on Saturday. But we'll see if we can bounce back here, get all 3 of these plays right for Monday, and try and get that full sweep. So, talking about the first prop that I like for tonight, it's going to be a strikeouts prop. And we're going to take Kevin Gausman more than 5.5 strikeouts. So Kevin Gausman this season, he's been a pretty good strikeout pitcher throughout his career. He's been a relatively good strikeout pitcher. This year, he's got a 24% strikeout rate. 2 years ago, he had a strikeout rate over 31%. Last year, his K rate was down to 21.4%, which was actually that was close to his career low. But he's been getting more Ks this year, 24% K rate. As you can see, he's had a lot of starts where he's gotten a lot of Ks lately. The starts where he didn't get a lot of Ks were pretty tough matchups against the Royals and against the Cubs. Those are 2 teams that don't really strike out a lot. But he got 8 Ks against the Yankees, 10 against the Tigers, 8 against the Rockies. This sets up as another pretty good spot for Gausman to be able to get some Ks going up against the Pirates. The Pirates are a high strikeout team. They've been a high strikeout team, all this season. They've been a high strikeout team the last few seasons. If we look at their strikeout rate this season against right-handed pitching, 8th highest in the league, 22.7%. And then if you look at like a recent sample, like the last 30 days, Pittsburgh, they still have a 23% K rate versus right-handed pitching over the last 30 days. Over the last 14 days, Pittsburgh's K rate still sits at like 22%, so they've still been striking out a good amount even as of late. Top 10 strikeout rate, this season. Gausman, a good strikeout pitcher, above average K rate, also a pretty good pitcher at getting a lot of chases on his pitches. He has an above average whiff rate as well. And Gausman's a unique pitcher because one of his primary pitches is a splitter. That's a pitch that he relies heavily on to get strikeouts. Getting batters to chase that splitter down in the zone, and it's a unique pitch that a lot of hitters don't see because not a lot of pitchers throw a splitter. At this point, at this day and age, like it's just a unique pitch. And Gausman, you look throughout his career, he's faced the Pirates a decent amount in his career back when he pitched, for some NL teams, but he hasn't faced the Pirates in over 4 years. So like a lot of these Pirates hitters have probably never seen Gausman before. So I think that's definitely something that sets up well for Gausman here. A lot of these Pittsburgh hitters probably are not going to know what to do when it comes to that splitter. And if they're chasing that splitter down in the zone, that should lead to a lot of strikeouts for Kevin Gausman, who relies heavily on getting strikeouts on that specific pitch. And this is a Pittsburgh team that will definitely chase pitches. It's a Pittsburgh team that doesn't have a lot of plate discipline. There's a lot of guys in this Pittsburgh lineup that have high strikeout rates, that have high chase rates. So I think this just sets up as a really good spot for Kevin Gausman to be able to get some strikeouts. We're going to be taking him for more than 5.5 Ks here as our first prop for today. Now our next prop is going to be a hits allowed prop, and we're going to take Yoendrys Gomez. I don't know if I said that right, but Yoendrys Gomez, more than 4.5 hits allowed. Now, if you look at Gomez's last 5 games, he has gone under this line in all 5 of his last 5 starts, but that's pretty irrelevant because Gomez this season has been operating out of the bullpen. He started off the season, I want to say he's been on like 3 different teams. I think he was on the Yankees earlier this year. I'm pretty sure he was on the Dodgers as well, and now he's with the White Sox. He was pitching in AAA for the White Sox, and he was being used like as a starter. He was throwing 3 innings, 4 innings, 5 innings, 4 innings, 5 innings. So they were basically using him as a starter or he was at least pitching like starter's length, going at least like 4 or 5 innings. But when he was pitching in the majors, which is what you see on Prizepicks, you see his game log when he was in the majors, he wasn't pitching but maybe an inning or 2. Like this start against Seattle, he only pitched 1.1 innings against the Cubs, only pitched 1 inning against Cincinnati, only pitched 1 inning against Miami, he actually pitched 0.1 of an inning, so he didn't even go a full inning against Miami. Now his last start against Detroit was a full start. He did throw 5 innings against Detroit, only allowed 1 hit against Detroit, so he was really good in that spot, in that start. But if you look at Gomez's numbers this year, he's been pretty bad. He's got a 4.32 ERA. His expected ERA is 6.70, so he's actually a pitcher that's due for some negative regression. He's a guy that has a pretty high expected batting average as well, 271 expected batting average. He's a pitcher that doesn't really get a lot of strikeouts, has a very low strikeout rate, just an 18.9% strikeout rate. And if we're looking at taking an hits allowed prop, if we want a pitcher to give up hits, the perfect key to that is for them to not be able to get strikeouts. Because if they're not getting strikeouts, then that just means these Braves hitters are going to be able to put the ball in play against Gomez. And the Braves have been heating up as of late. Their offense has been doing really well. I think they're on a 6 or 7 game win streak. I'm pretty sure they swept the Guardians over the weekend. Like the Braves have been hitting the ball well lately. I think their offensive numbers have been improving as of late. They're going home to Truist Park, a ballpark that does play relatively hitter friendly. And this time of the year down in the South, which is where I live, it gets really hot this time of the year. I don't think it's going to be too hot in Atlanta on Monday, but 79 degrees, 76% humidity, so some decent hitting weather in Atlanta here. But the Braves have a team total over 5 runs, so like Vegas, they're expecting the Braves to score some runs here. I think Gomez probably struggles in the spot. I know he was really good in his last start against the Tigers, but that was a good matchup. The Tigers' offense has been really struggling lately. Now he's facing a Braves team that's been heating up as of late. Gomez, his numbers this year, they haven't been good in the majors. When he's made starts, he was pitching decently in the minors, but you kind of have to take that with a grain of salt because pitching in the minors versus in the majors is just 2 completely different animals. And obviously in the majors, we've seen Gomez really struggle when he's pitched in the majors this year. So I think this is a spot where he definitely can give up some hits, give up some runs. I do like Gomez for more than 4.5 hits allowed. And then our third and final prop is going to be a hitter fantasy score. We're going to go to the Rockies and Dodgers game in Coors Field. And I like Shohei Ohtani for more than 10.5 hitter fantasy score. I don't take a lot of props on Ohtani, I'll be honest. I think this might be the first time all season I've giving a prop out on Ohtani, which is kind of surprising because, Ohtani's obviously one of the best hitters in the league, but his lines are always going to be set accordingly. Like, you're never going to get Ohtani at low lines. He's always going to be priced highly. He is obviously priced highly today, but I don't know if he's priced highly enough. Typically, Ohtani, his fantasy score line is typically like 8.5 or 9.5, and some days it'll be higher than that depending on the matchup. Some days it might be lower than that if it's a tough matchup. Obviously, today, going to Coors Field, this is probably one of the best spots you can get. For those of you that don't know, the Rockies ballpark, Coors Field, it's the most hitter-friendly ballpark. There's a lot of reasons why. It has to do with the altitude in Colorado, playing in the mile high, up in the mountains. I think the ball just carries more in Coors Field. It's been one of the best hitters' parks. And if you look at the weather in Colorado tomorrow, it's going to be 84 degrees, winds blowing out to left center, so good hitting weather here as well. The Dodgers have a 7 implied run total, so Vegas, they're expecting the Dodgers to score 7 runs tonight. And if the Dodgers are scoring, 7 runs, that probably means that Shohei Ohtani is going to be doing something. He's going to be contributing to that. And I do like this matchup for him against Kyle Freeland. Kyle Freeland's going to be pitching for the Rockies. It is a lefty-lefty matchup, but Ohtani still has really good numbers against left-handed pitching this year. He's actually batting .285 against left-handed pitching, whereas against right-handed pitching, he's batting .282. So he's actually been better, at least in terms of average. He's been better against left-handed pitching this year. And then if you look at his other numbers against left-handed pitching, he's still got a 348 on base percentage, 552 slug, 900 OPS, 267 ISO, 147 WRC plus. So his numbers against lefties are still really good. And Kyle Freeland, he's a pitcher that definitely will struggle to lefties, even though it's a lefty-lefty matchup. Freeland's still giving up a 276 average to lefties, 314 on base percentage, 398 slug. And if you look at Freeland's numbers at home versus on the road, Freeland has been really bad at home in Coors Field, and it's not surprising because, like we said, Coors Field is the most hitter-friendly ballpark. Pitchers typically struggle in Coors Field. In Coors Field this year at home, Freeland 6.52 ERA, 348 average allowed, 397 on base percentage allowed, 538 slug. So Coors has been a tough spot to pitch for Kyle Freeland. He's been a Rockies pitcher for a while. You would think he's kind of adapted to Coors Field, but pitching at Coors Field is just not ideal. It's a tough spot to pitch in. I think the Dodgers are in a really good spot here to put up a lot of runs on Kyle Freeland, who's just really struggled this year, especially at home in Coors. Freeland, he's a low K guy. Like, he's a pitcher that doesn't get a lot of strikeouts, has a very low strikeout rate, 15.6%. And if you're not getting strikeouts in Coors Field, if you're letting hitters put the ball in play, that's just a recipe for disaster because when balls are put in play in Coors Field, it typically leads to hits, it leads to runs. Freeland also given up a ton of hard contact this year, 47.5% hard hit percentage. He's got one of the lowest expected batting averages. He's got a 307 expected batting average. That's bottom 1% in the league. He's got a 5.51 expected ERA. Like, Freeland's just been bad. As simple as that. So it sets up as a really good spot for the Dodgers, sets up as a really good spot for Shohei Ohtani, who in his career has been great at Coors Field. I was looking at his stats in Coors Field. In Coors, he's played 17 games. He's batting .391 with 25 hits, 6 home runs, 17 RBIs, and 17 runs scored in 17 career games at Coors Field. And then I actually looked at his BVP against Kyle Freeland. Ohtani's 4 for 6 with 2 home runs against Kyle Freeland. So it's a matchup that he has done well in the past, too. There's just so many boxes you could check in the spot for Shohei Ohtani. I know the line looks high at 10.5. It's pretty rare to see a hitter fantasy score line in the double digits, but given the spot in Coors Field against Kyle Freeland, terrible pitcher, I think this just sets up as a really good spot for Shohei Ohtani here. He's a guy that obviously has a ton of power. He has speed, too. He just has so many ways he can get fantasy points. He can steal bases. There's just a lot of ways for Ohtani to get 11 fantasy points. It's not like we need to hit him. It's not like we need him to hit a home run. Obviously, we would love if he'd hit a home run, but he could get there with RBI single, get a walk, steal some bases, run scored, whatever it may be. And with fantasy score, you get points for everything, for all that stuff. So that's what we're going to be taking, guys, is our 3 props for today. Kevin Gausman, more than 5.5 strikeouts. Yoendrys Gomez, more than 4.5 hits allowed. And Shohei Ohtani, more than 10.5 fantasy score. So see if we can go 3-0 here. 3 plays for Monday, guys. If you guys did enjoy this Prizepicks video, make sure to hit that like button down below for me. Hit that subscribe button as well. And if you guys don't have an account over on Prizepicks, be sure to go sign up. Use that code NOAH. Get those $50 in free lineups. But Good luck tonight, guys. Appreciate your support. Let's win some money tonight.